Speaking Part 2, Personal Experience, Tips and Strategies. Reading the question and preparing. Understand the topic. What is the main topic you need to speak about? Usually starts with talk about. Understand the different parts you should say. Usually, there are 2 or 3 points you should mention when you speak. You can take notes. You will be given a notepad. Write some points about the topic. Use words, not full sentences. You can write notes in your language. The notes will not be graded. Put yourself in the situation. Imagining the context visually and putting yourself in the situation can improve your understanding. What would you tell your friend if this was the situation? Okay, here we are with a sample of speaking task 2, talking about a personal experience. And the first thing we should do, of course, keep in mind the preparation time and how long we need to speak for. 60 seconds, 1 minute. So, when you're reading the question, it's very, very, very important to read just the first part because this is the topic. A time when you played a new game. So, this one is a past experience. Most questions are past experiences. So, really, that is the main topic. Then, usually in the question, it gives you some examples. Don't worry about the examples. Many students, they get confused because after they read the first part, then they start reading this, and they get confused about the topic. But the topic is right here. Just talk about when you played a new game. And then it gives you some examples. You can talk about a board game, a sports game, or a children's game. Usually, it gives you examples of what you could talk about. And then lastly, it'll ask you some questions about that game. Where were you? Who was playing with you? And how did you feel about this game? So, again, first we have the topic, okay, a new game. Then it gives you some examples. And then it gives you some questions that you should answer when you speak. It's very important to answer the questions about the topic. So, again, if you just get the first part, it's good. And then answering all those parts is important. And usually it's about a past experience. Organizing your response. Introduce the question. You can use I'd like to speak about the topic, or I'm going to speak about. First question to answer. You can use first of all or firstly second question or point. You can use regarding, well, or about. Last question or point. You can use personally or lastly. So now we want to use our guided response to answer this question. The first part is introduce the question. So we can start by I'd like to speak about a time when I played a new game called chess or I'm going to speak about a time when I first played tennis because it can be a sport. Okay? Next, we want to answer the first question. Where were you? So, first of all, when I first played tennis, I was in grade 7 in junior high school, and I was visiting my friend. So you see, I'm talking about that point. Where were you? Then the second question or point. Who was playing with you? So we can start by saying, regarding who was playing tennis with me for the first time, well, that was my friend Omar. Him and I used to be good friends and we played sports all the time. So that day we played tennis. Or you can start with about. About who was playing with me that day. Well, so it's the same. Either one. Regarding is more stronger, I believe. The last question or point. How did you feel about this game? So, personally, I felt great about playing tennis for the first time because it was very exciting and it was very fun to play with my friend. Or lastly, I felt great about playing the game. So you can see if we use this kind of structure, this kind of guide, it really makes your answer sound more connected and with more order and overall more natural and complete. Factors which influence your score. Ideas and vocabulary. The ideas and level of vocabulary determine your score. CLB 4 to 6, simple and basic ideas and vocabulary. CLB 7 or higher, the more complex the idea and stronger vocabulary, the higher the level. Fluency and rate of speech. The rate of speech is important. Try to keep speaking continuously, but not so fast. If you get stuck, move to another idea or point. Clarity. You need to speak clearly to avoid pronunciation errors. Emphasize important points clearly. Sentence construction and grammar. Complete sentences and no simple grammar errors. CLB 4 to 6 have many simple grammar errors. especially in simple present, past, and future tenses, pronouns, plural, singular, and prepositions. For levels CLB 7 or higher, the important part is using higher level grammar. For example, perfect tenses, passive, modalities, and conditionals. Provide a complete response. Answer the question completely. Respond all parts of the question. How many ideas you provide increases your score. The more examples and explanation increases your score. Provide a conclusion. That is the end of Speaking Part 2, Personal Experience, Tips and Strategies.